14 money mistakes 20s someone should not make. So let's check it out this video, that if any of those 14 mistakes you are making right now with money, it will significantly hurt your mission to be financially free for the late 20s or even mid 20s or even 30s too. So let's avoid these 14 so you don't fall in the trap of this money mistake. You want that right? Of course you do. Let's get started.
Sure.
Number one, this is a very common phenomenon. A lot of people are spending a lot of money on milk tea and coffee and every day, not just one day, 2 day. So now the goal is about not to just spending on this everyday coffee and milk tea from outside. The goal is about, if you have a job, try the office coffee or try an instant coffee, because you are planning to have the coffee every day, right? And then go out with your friends one day in a week, and then you can have a really good one too. So then now you have a reason to meet your friends, celebrate with them better too, cherish your whole week of work as well too, and do that. I'm not trying to tell you the ladder factor, that book. I don't believe in that one too. But actually, if you're early 20s, anything you want to save from those kinds of trash spending can help you to put your financial thing. It's not about how much money you're saving. It's about how much discipline you are with your spending. That's matter the most too. And I just told you, this is how it can really help you. So that's the one mistake. Avoid it. Number two, spending money to impress others. So now, phone is broken. Phone is not, suddenly screen is not working. So what do you do right now? You're thinking about, oh, get a new one. How old is your phone? 3 years, 2 years. Why not just simply bring the phone to the store and just get it fixed? Probably it will cost $100 or $200, but if you want to get a complete phone, it will take you $2,000. Does it make sense? And why not make sure that when you're getting your phone fixed with $100, make sure that it has a warranty for next 1 year covered. And now you don't have to spend all this money, and you have $1,900 stayed in your pocket as a capex investment, which you can put in investment, stocks, or even term deposits, and you can earn more out of it. Number three, spending time way too much on Facebook. With due respect, Facebook is a great social media platform. It's help us to connect each other too. But when you're spending way too much time in Facebook, it goes to the trash bin. Because at the end of the day, what do? All day we keep watching for people's beautiful photo, people having fun, all these things, because Facebook is famous for it, and Instagram is the same as well too. We see this one, we've been working too hard in the office, and then everybody just traveling and having a lot of fun around, create a lot of depression in our mind. So this is the first factor. We lose our mental peace. And number two is a valuable thing which we lose is our time. End of the day, if we have 24 hours, I highly suggest you install an app to see how much time you spend on different apps. If you're Android and iPhone, there is a setting already available for that, how much time you use per day, and there is a track record in that. I want to look into it. And if you're spending on Facebook more than 2 hours, let's say you're spending 2 hours in a week, you're spending 14 hours. 14 hours means almost 1.5 working day in a week you've given to Facebook. What is the return? Zero. You didn't make any money because you've been just spending on time, and actually you lose because you lost a lot of mental peace. Number four, saving not anything and not investing anything on yourself. So now, a big portion of the 20s, they don't save any money, and they save way too little money. And now some of the group are saving money and putting that money to the stock market, but they're not investing on themselves. So now here's the fun. When you put in the stock market, normally a return it probably will be 10 to 15%. But we can use the same money, probably not even 10% of that one. Let's say example, somebody saved $50,000 in a year. If you could take a $1,000, so basically 2% of that money, and invest on that particular person on the $2,000, and then we can see a much more better return in terms of developing that skill. So that's the thing. People are scared, oh, we want to make money by doing nothing. But why don't we just invest on ourselves? Because ourselves is the biggest earning vehicle. It's nothing else. It's not real estate, it's not stock, nothing else. It's us developing our skill. And now when we can develop our skill, we can create something, maybe a business, an app, which can create a better income as well too. So that will only happen when you invest in ourselves. Number five, saving money but not investing on asset. Everybody are very busy to buying the thing to impress others. They've been very busy on buying clothes, buying new shoes, going out and spending hours on this e-commerce website. Horrible way to waste the time. The goal is about we are in saving, so we have enough savings so we can put that money to an investment, an asset. So what is the asset? So Rich Dad Poor Dad talked about very well about the thing put our money in our pocket, that's an asset. The thing take out the money from our pocket, that's a liability. That's a simple formula. So now I'm looking for the thing which is gonna put the money in our pocket too. So now the goal is about, oh, how can I get an asset? Simple, save for a long period of time so the capital be big enough so it can transact that one to an asset. So now if somebody has less money, stock market is a good option because that's the way invest in that one. But here's the thing, I'm not a stock market expert and I'm not investing much in stock market, but there's the one advice I can give it to you. Figure out the company was really stable and big and more than 1,000 employees, invest on them. There's a high chance you will never lose the money and probably early you can get some profit as well too. 7, rule of 3. It's a really practical way so we can control our spending as well too. Let's say example. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a store, I found a jacket. I love it. It's really blown my mind. I say this jacket is mine. I want it. But I follow my rule of 3. So I after that one, I leave that one and say, hey, I need to follow tomorrow I'm gonna ask myself. So I'm gonna ask myself tomorrow and the answer was really yes as well too. And I wanna do that one too. So now, after 2 days later, I went back to the store and I seized and tried and again asked myself, do I really need this? Do I really need another jacket? And the answer was no. I did not purchase and did not even go for a think about the third time. It's closed. So that's the way the rule of 3 really help us to have a better control on our spending on the things because our mind always programmed by so many amazing marketer. Their goal is to how do they can transact their product, basically B2C t-shirt, G-T watches, to our with the money we have in a wallet. So the rule of 3 really helps. Number 8, this is something very interesting. Having a wrong roommates or wrong friend cycle can be really damaging for the finance as well too. So basically, we are average of 5 people who we spend most of our time. So now, if you have a roommates who have all kind of bad habits in terms of like they like to spend much, they like to drink much, they like to party much, they sleep late, they buy anything they want to do, and now all this thing we've been watching in front of them and seeing them and conversing with them, sleeping with them in the same room, and now it's coming to our psyche, and now it's very hard to discipline ourselves. So now, if you have such kind of roommates who are really have a bad issues with their finance too, change the roommates. That's a really good advice I can give you right now. Or never look at them and then only keep the discussions out of those topics. Otherwise, it's gonna always become a trigger moment for you. Because as a human, we always wait for the trigger moment, and when the triggered moment come into us, it's very hard to really to stop ourselves doing this one too. So the goal is about before the trigger moment we stop this one so we can move forward and avoiding ourselves spending that additional money. So that's the thing I want to tell you right now. Pay attention on your friends and choose the friends and your roommates carefully so we have least amount of triggers on those kinds of bad spending about ourselves. Number 9, eating out, save money. That's the thing. So there are a few things about. When you are eating out, my interest is about I have a specific store I like to prefer with. I have like a long list, like 10, 20 store, and I know they are a good value for money. So if I'm eating out, I'll always like to find out to go into those stores. So now, advice I can give it to you is about do your homework. Find out those 20 or 30, all different kind of countries, cuisines, and you really love, and then choose them based on how value they are in terms of money. So the qualification is about when I'm going in eating with them, it has to be value for money. So now that's one of the way I can regulate my all this eating, and I know if I go, I have a good value for money. I'm not going to just going for a rip off because I'm really curious. Somebody I've seen in the street or something I've seen in Facebook, social media, trying to sell me and trying to hook me up to a new restaurant. I'm not going to do that. That's the first thing. Second thing is about cooking at home in the evening or making the coffee at home is an excellent way to also disciplinize our spending habit on the eating as well too, because eating and living, these are the 2 biggest expense we have every day in our life. 11, taking public transportation is a great way to also optimize. When you are 20s, we have a lot of energy, we have a lot of times as well too. So rather than spending those valuable time in social media platform and Facebook and giving them and donating them all this valuable time, let's use those valuable time to do, you take the public transportation. And that's the thing, when I'm using the public transportation, I always get my earpod on because that's the time I can listen to books, podcasts. I keep going all those things. Like an example, when I'm communicating anything more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I'm going to take that, make sure that my earpod is always with me in my bag, and I'm going to start listening and start to use that one too. Because for me, it's quite hard for me to read books. If you could read books, it's great, but I can't. I have a glass, and when I'm shaking, I'm not feel good when I'm in public transportation. So I like to listen, and that's much better for me. So now, taking the public transportation is a way more cheaper than taking a taxi or Grab. This is way more expensive too. But now, the goal is about take as many public transportation as we can, or if you're in a country where you can use bike, use that one. It's a really good way to optimize your costs. So me, yes, I love taking bikes, and I actually prefer bikes more than even car right now. It's really fun. It's have a thrilling feeling, a lot of freshness, and going out in the evening with a bike, oh, that's an amazing feeling, fresh. So at the same time, when I'm taking long distance, I'm always taking the public transportations. So that's the way you can save the time as well too. So you can consider that one as well too. I'm saying when I was 20s, I was taking a lot of public transportation. But now, as I'm 30 plus and I'm moving to a next level of my life, several levels up in my life, it's different. So now going back to you, when you were early 20s, take a lot of public transportation will save a lot of your money and your cost. Number 12, check your bank accounts. So now this is the thing. The thing we don't see, the thing we don't know how to improve to. So at least once in a week, look at the bank account and see where the situation of the bank account. Can we do some action to improve this one? That's the ultimate goal. When you see something is really bad in a bank account, when you don't see it anymore, it's not in our mind, but it's still there. The problem is not solved. It's still there and just killing us. So the goal is to go and see it once in a week, and then remaining other 6 days or immediately move and think about what's the exactly thing I can do to improve the number right now. That's what I did in 20s. Do it and it will help you as well. Number 13, clean your checking account. Don't keep a huge amount of currency and money in your checking account, because that's the way you'll keep spending that amount of money as well too. And the second thing is, rather than spending from a credit card, which we don't really see because we just give the card and it's been paid, try to pay from the cash, because when you're paying from the cash, you're clearly seeing this one, you're giving money. For my case, it's different. I already built the muscle and I know the benefit of a credit card. So if you are really good at spending and understanding the value when you're exchanging, you can use the credit card, which I do because I'm pretty good at it already. I have built that muscle. But from your case, about if you see this one, you don't know how much you're really paying by credit card, look into use by cash. Secondly is about look into your how much you are spending in each of the month, and you can try to look at the total amount of time and see what is the key area you can improve. Maybe you didn't spend enough on the food, so spend more in the food rather than spending on more in the clothes, right? That's the whole point. Number 14, paying for the experience. That is really valuable. I think that in the 20s, one of the things I regret about is not doing enough is paying more for my experience. I was so much excited that I'm going to save at my best possible way. So I was not paying enough for my experience. I did couple of trips every year. One is domestic and one is overseas. It's just for my pleasure. Rest was my related to my work and business trip. But after 25, I was lucky enough. I was a conference speaker. So I've been flying around different countries too. But for you, it's could be different. So goal is about make a fund in your savings and have that, make sure that you spend that for building your experience. You don't have a lot of income, no problem. Don't go overseas. Go to the domestic places. Go around and spend that movements to experience those places, those cultures, those food, rather than arguing with someone else or fighting with someone else and try to toxicize yourself. Don't waste the time. You already spent the time. Now is the goal is about going to maximize, utilize your experience as well too. So here you go. You find this 14 in discipline rules which you can use right now so you can have better finance right now too. But now you want to think about how you can build a career fast and you become wealthy as well too. Go check this video right now. I'll show you the 8 things you could do to build your career fast and become wealthy. Go click right now. I'll see you there. All the best. We have some exciting plan for the next week. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that out.